Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of The Sandman, Season 1, Episode 11. This is that extra special episode that they gave us. They dropped 10, and then they waited a couple weeks, and then they were like, by the way, we made one more. Here you go. And then they threw this other one at us. Yeah, so let's talk about it. I'm a blind film critic, so I didn't get to enjoy the visual effects here, of which I'm sure at least the first part was cool. It was very weird for me, because it's two stories and they're not related. So it's two little short stories that take place within the Sandman universe, but would not have affected the overarching story from season 1. Maybe the second story could have been told within the confines of season 1 a little bit more if you would put it sort of directly after the first episode, and sacrificed, because there's some things like when he's trying to figure out like where his dreams went. Like if you'd taken this story, for example, and right after he had broken out of chains, if instead of going to see Cain and Abel, he rescued Calliope, that could have been there. You just then would have had the non-existence of Cain and Abel within the story. So, and I know this is following a comic book, but I am acknowledging the fact that there is a place and time in which the second part exists within the season 1 story. It's not like it's just totally out there. The first part, I don't know how they would have worked that in, and I don't know how it would have been relevant to the storyline. The first story is this really cool thing about cats, learning that they are not equal to humans. And how they used to be bigger and they used to eat humans, and then the humans started dreaming, and then they started growing larger and the cats started growing smaller. And it was kind of like, cool. I feel like we could have just shown that cat a tiger and been like, hey, so you did used to be bigger and some of you still are. You just happen to be the small kind. Sorry to tell you, you were given the short stick on that draw, but because like I got what it was trying to say, but at the same time I was like, it's not like there aren't large cats. So it kind of made me think through the audio description. I was like, how large are these cats supposed to be? Are these like T-Rex cats? Like, what cat size do they think they used to be? Because we still have large cats. They still exist. I know we're doing a terrible job of maintaining them, and there are more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild, but they're alive, having terrible lives in cages mostly, but they're lions and panthers and there's a whole bunch of big cats. So, I guess from a house cat perspective, when all you do is you wake up and you just go to your food bowl and go to your litter box and then go to bed, you don't know that somewhere out there's a pride of lions hunting and killing gazelle. So, it's, I guess, so, yeah, the dreaming thing it was just an interesting story. It was a story about a gathering of cats that was far better than that Cats movie with that unfortunate Cats live action movie that we got, where they decided that cats don't need buttholes, just awkwardly, just sort of. Anyway, CGI'd out that because it would have been unpleasant, I guess, to look at, even though we all know, everybody who's ever seen a cat. Anyway, very weird movie. And the second part is about a muse who's been captured and is being used by one author who's getting up there in age, and he's willing to sort of pass it off to another author. And this guy brings him a gift, and then he gets the muse, and it helps him write a new book. But it's really about the mistreatment of the muse and the fact that we don't own, you shouldn't own a muse. Obviously you shouldn't own anybody, but he just keeps this woman locked upstairs, Calliope, and it goes into her backstory with Morpheus and how they used to be in love, and they had a kid and it died, and then they stopped talking to each other, and she keeps praying to Morpheus, but she finds out that Morpheus is season 1 episode 1, but finally season 1 episode 2 happens, and he breaks out and is finally able to help her, and there's only just so much that he can do, but he does it. And he's like, if it's ideas, if it's inspiration you want. And the guy can't stop getting inspiration. I guess Dream just keeps filling his head with all of these terrible, terrible things that he keeps watching. So obviously makes him reconsider his life choices about whether or not he should keep a woman trapped in his upstairs bedroom. And those are the two tales. That's what happened. The first one is shorter than the second one, so they're not even. They're both cool. I liked both of them. I thought they both had something interesting to say. And it was very interesting that this exists. And I'm excited about it, and I still want to see those words. Netflix picks up The Sandman for a second season. I've not seen that news story pop up yet, and I'm concerned because they've picked up some things for second seasons like days after the drop. They're like, by the way, our Cobra Kai gets 3 more seasons. They're just, Virgin River got like a multi-season pickup. But the fact that The Sandman has not gotten a second season, and it's October. When Netflix? Anyway, I'm going to give this episode of Sandman, episode 11, I'm going to give that an A. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So hopefully you watched it. Hopefully you knew it was there and didn't just stop at 10 and then walk away and didn't go back for the other episode. So check it out. If you've stayed this long, you must like me a little bit. So think about subscribing. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. I'm over 3/4 of the way there. It's not, we don't have to do that much work. We can get, tell your postman, just casually when he's dropping off the mail, be like, hey, have you heard of this YouTuber? Strike up a conversation, a convo, as we say out there in the world. And I also have a website, macmovieguy.com, if you want to put up with more of me, and Twitter at macmovieguy.com for even more of me, because who doesn't want maximum me? You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what else has audio description and where you can watch it. And theadna.org will let you know who's narrating what. There's a search tool on there, and you can search for things, and you can be like, oh, who was narrating? Oh, that was the sound designer? That's the person who did the mixing? Cool. And you can learn more about that, because those people, sadly, are not allowed to be on IMDb. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense, but they're not. That's it for me today, and I gotta go review something else, but I will see you on the other side.